This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Hi everyone, I'm Nizzahon, and it's Sunday, and lately that's meant I'm putting out a deck, tech, and gameplay of some historic Brawl, and that's what we're doing today with a look at Aphemia, the Cacophony. She's from Theros Beyond Death. Right now, New Capenna isn't on Arena yet, so I'll probably do a deck tech of a New Capenna commander in the next one of these that I do. But for now, we're doing Aphemia. I think she's a really cool, underappreciated commander, mostly because she does something sort of unique. She is a mono black card that is very into enchantments. And basically, this deck is a graveyard enchantment deck. The game plan is to, mill ourselves and make a bunch of zombie tokens. And it can be a pretty aggressive deck if we play Aphemia on turn 2 and make a zombie right away. That can quickly pressure the opponent and things start to get out of hand kind of quickly. The deck is basically loaded up with enchantments and ways to put things in our graveyard. So this pile here is all just sort of staples. Mox Amber is a card you should always play in a deck where you have a cheap commander, and we do. So here it is. We've also got staples like Dark Ritual, Shadow Spear, Doomblade, some Mana Rocks, removal. In mono black decks, you basically always want to play Dread Presence and Ayara. Ayara also combos pretty well with Aphemia because she can sacrifice the things Aphemia makes and drain life for them. So there's some special synergy there. Some sweepers, all that kind of stuff. This pile here is all stuff that does stuff with our graveyard but isn't enchantments. So we've got things, we're not only getting value out of enchantments, we can also mill Gutter Bones. Stitcher's Supplier, gives us a total of 6 cards in our graveyard. Usually Scrap Heap Scrounger can come back. Mire Triton mills us. Null Priest can reanimate things when you kick her. Skyclave Shake can come back with Landfall. Undead Butler mills us and can return things from the graveyard. Gorging Vulture mills 4 cards when it enters. Woe Strider has Escape. Ebon Death can be cast from the graveyard. Conrad, works well with any deck that's milling a bunch, as does Dreadhound. We also have, the rest of the deck that we haven't looked at so far is all enchantments or lands. And so we have some enchantments that do stuff with the graveyard, and those are the really sweet ones. Things like Mogus's Favor, which we can mill and get back, but also we can turn it into a 2/2. Omen of the Dead lets us return something from the graveyard, but we can also sacrifice it and put it back. Timoret Calls the Dead is a sweet card for the deck. It's, really in the same vein as Aphemia. They're from the same set. Both of them are about milling and creating zombies by exiling enchantments. Demonic Embrace is an enchantment we can get back and slap on another creature. Mindrack Harpy, this is the kind of, it's like from a Planeswalker deck or something. It's a card you may never have even heard of, but it is such a good card in this deck. It mills us a bunch. It's an enchantment, so if we mill it, we can turn it into a creature, and it's another aerial threat to go with Aphemia. So, there aren't very many decks that should be playing Mindrack Harpy, but I think this is one of them. Gravebreaker Lamia is a creature who lets us search up any card from our deck and put it in our graveyard, and makes things cast from the graveyard cost 1 less, which comes up some, and obviously it's an enchantment. And then this whole pile is just, like I said, it's all enchantments. Removal enchantments are really sweet. Things like Dead Weight, because we play them, kill their 1-drop or whatever, and then play Aphemia the next turn. That's a pretty big beating. We've also got a sacrifice sub-theme, since we can give up her tokens. Like if our opponent manages to make the game go longer, we can sacrifice things. Dockside Chef is also, of course, an enchantment. Gift of Fangs, another removal spell. Hateful Eidolon combos absurdly well with all those enchantment-based removal spells too, because we get to draw a card when that creature dies. Precipitous Drop, another one of these. And, this pile mostly isn't synergistic apart from the fact that they're enchantments. Meathook Massacre is basically a staple at this point, but we get extra value out of it. We have a bunch of sagas. They're powerful, and they happen to be enchantments. So, yeah. That's the deck. We mill ourselves, we make zombie tokens, and that's pretty much it. Now I'll show you some gameplay so you can see it in action. Uh-oh, we're up against rats. Rats. I need to make a rat deck at some point just so our rats can be in the video. So this is not a great hand, mostly because we only have 2 lands. I mean, we can definitely Mire's Grasp something early and then play Aphemia and exile a thing to get a 2/2 after we kill something probably on turn 2. And I mean, you know, Dread Presence can really do some nasty stuff by playing Swamps, but we have a free mulligan in this format, and I think we can probably do better than this on a free mulligan. This hand's kind of the opposite, but turn 2 Tribute to Hirobi can just end games. And, you know, we have a sweeper if things go sideways. That's basically our game plan here. We are going to give the rat deck rats, which is a little amusing. Oh, they may take our tribute here. We actually could steal their rat tokens, right? Because it only... I gain control of all rat tokens. Fascinating. So I could play Aphemia here and just make a 2/2 because they made me discard Meat Hook Massacre. Or I could get Tribute to Hirobi online here. I think getting the clock started on this before they can do things with our rats is probably wise, because if we give them these rats and they can do things with them, we'll be in trouble. I mean, you know, they'll be able to do some extra damage to us, but that part doesn't really bother me. Let's hope they play another rat token. That's what we're kind of hoping for. All right, so I think we play Aphemia here. Yeah, we'll play Aphemia. Exile our Meat Hook Massacre to make a 2/2. We're probably going to block this rat colony with this 2/2, because it's going to be like a 5/1. Ooh, that's annoying. So they're going to be able to get rid of one of these rat tokens if they really want to. That's probably what they're going to do. Get rid of a rat token. Part of the problem, and part of the reason I haven't made a rat deck at this point, is because this is just not an interesting commander to me overall. I think if I make a rat deck, it'll probably be Greasefang, which isn't a rat tribal deck at all, but at least it's a rat commander, you know. We do have a sweeper still, and that's sort of our backup plan. Kind of hoping I don't have to use it, but it could definitely happen. Yeah, so we kind of knew they were going to do that, unfortunately. Do you think they can sack the other token? No. So they're not going to bring the Thunder. They're just going to attack us with that one. Okay. I think we blocked this rat colony. We're definitely blocking one of the rat colonies. All right, so we're taking one. That works for me. All right, so now we get Tribute to Hirobi going, which is sweet. I know we have this swamp already. I think we attack and sack the rat token here. And then I'll probably play Brain Maggot. If nothing else, it can trade for a rat colony, you know? So, yeah, we'll attack, sack this. Getting lots of lands here. But yeah, disrupting them a bit and blocking a rat token seems pretty good. I should have attacked with Aphemia there. That was kind of silly of me. What a surprise. They have a bunch of rat colonies. Who knew? Yeah, I should maybe just be trying to avert death. The good news is the fear this grants isn't a big deal, but they're going to give fear here to... I mean, fear. Haste to their creatures here, but I think we block 2 of them. Give them back this rat colony. Okay, or they don't attack us. Okay, Gravebreaker's interesting. So, do I want to give up this token? My Gravebreaker Lamia is going to add itself to the board, and I'll probably just put some enchantment in the graveyard so I can get rid of it. I guess Mogus is, who's it? The 1-mana aura. Ooh, or Clawing Torment. Oh, I can't get that back, though. Yeah. Mogus's aura I can get back. I could think about Languishing here, but I don't think we want to do it just yet. Yeah, so I think we just attack with the Echo here, and I think we give up our zombie token. Another land. The Gravebreaker has lifelink, which is nice. So yeah, I think we play Gravebreaker. What do we put in our graveyard? Do we just put a random thing we want to exile for a 2/2? Or do we put something in there that we can actually get back? That's the question. Mogus's Favor is what I'm sort of thinking about. But it's not like I have other cards in my graveyard right now. So I think we probably just grab some random enchantment that's maybe not especially good in this matchup. Doesn't really feel like an Argwell's Bloodfast kind of game, but there might be something worse than that. Eldest Reborn doesn't look great either, frankly. I mean, Curse of Leeches is pretty slow, too. Let's get rid of the Curse. Exile it, make a 2/2. So I guess they can make like 1,000,000 rats here. Ooh, that's bad. I'm probably dead. Because they can play this, make a bunch of rats, and give them all haste. Well, I'm probably not quite dead. If I can survive that and then just fire off a Languish, we'll be pretty happy. Because once we get the rug out from under them with all these rats, it's going to be hard for them to recover. Maybe that should have just been my game plan all along, but I think I had to block and stuff. Ooh. Okay. I can still block and kill one of them. So we do. If they attack us. Yeah. So we're going to do that, and then we pretty much have to Languish. Unfortunately, they still have a rat colony in their hand, but... yeah, that was gross. Cavalier of Night, you're an awkward draw, but I guess you do gain me life and stuff, which is certainly going to matter. So let's just Languish the board here. It's an awkward draw here because we don't have anything to sack, but I guess if we play Aphemia first, we might. Alright, so that should buy us some time. Gross. There goes our Vraska's Contempt. They play a rat colony now. Conrad, huh? So I can play Aphemia and make a token here. I could also just play a big lifelinker. But I think play Aphemia, make a token is pretty good. Conrad's not bad either, but if I play Aphemia and make a token, I then have something to sack to kill, you know, whatever it is they play. Yeah, I think we go with Aphemia here. We'll get rid of the Tribute. We can actually get creatures back with Conrad, so if we have the option to exile a non-enchantment... You know, I should definitely have this in my deck, by the way. With all the cards on Arena these days, especially the ones that aren't standard releases, it's not always easy to... I mean, you can go through the whole, like, deck builder, but that takes some time. Okay, so... they've decided to bide their time because they don't want me to just kill their creature. I think we attack here. And... what do they do? Probably take 4. And then I probably, especially because I drew Murderous Rider, I kind of like the idea... I think we play Conrad here. Mill at the end of their turn. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I also get another token. So I can get the Maggot back with our Cavalier, not the Lamia, so... so now we got a little combo going with Conrad here. And we can mill another time at the end of their turn. Looks like we've turned the tables. Especially them drawing back-to-back lands like that. It makes their life a lot harder. Right, so we're going to do this. Might do a damage to them. Yeah, they quit. So Languish got us there in that one. We weren't really the beatdown exactly, but we were able to match the rat shenanigans by making zombie tokens and trading with them for long enough that I could Languish. So that worked out pretty well. All right, looks like a pretty good hand. We've got some early mill. So we definitely kill that right away with Mogus's favor, and then next turn we can play Aphemia and make it 2-2. That's the kind of start we're looking for. Ooh, I guess we want to play the Hive. Yeah, so Tatyova, but they clearly have a snow theme. So yeah, we kill this. See you later. Yeah, trading a card 1 for 1 and then playing Aphemia and getting a 2-2 on the back end is pretty sweet. They're gonna mill me? Okay. I mean, I think we're okay with that. Yeah, so I think we just play Aphemia here and start cranking out tokens. Since our opponent wants to mill us, apparently. Some more enchantments. A Narnum Cobra, huh? There is a Dread Presence. How many cards are in a graveyard right now? Because I could just Mogus's favor again on the Cobra this time. That's probably the best thing to do. Then I get another 2-2 at the end of their turn. I could play Gorging Vulture to get another flyer on the table, but that just doesn't seem super necessary. Let's play Mogus's favor on Narnum Cobra here. We'll exile these 2 lands. We can't get lands back. Or turn them into zombies. So, then we'll attack. Yeah, I was gonna say, they know I can't really do more, but, you know. I can get all of these creatures back, theoretically. Let's exile the Lampad. You do have to manage your graveyard a bit with this deck, because you do have things you want sometimes. 3 swamps, huh? Okay. It's kind of a bummer that they hit all those swamps and our Witch's Cottage is just like, yeah, I have to enter tap still. Okay, so we're going to swing out here. Tatyova will come down soon, and we actually haven't done that much damage to them, even though we've done a fair bit of sweet value things. That's kind of a bummer, but we do have to play our Cottage here. I could kill Ruin Crab, but it's giving me so much fuel. I can only kill Ruin Crab because of Ruin Crab. It's probably still worth it. It helps my 2/2s get through. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Thanks, Ruin Crab. I've appreciated your help, but I'd also like to get rid of you, please. And get rid of the Lamia. So they play Tatyova here. Oh. That's a little more of a problem. Did draw Doomblade, which is nice. And, yeah. I think that's what we do. I'm guessing they make a 4/4 here. But it can't fly, and I can finish it off with the Gift of Fangs and then make another creature. This game is more like how you want this deck to operate. Last game was sort of a weird one. Although, I would have liked to do more damage to them early. No, they decided to draw. Okay. Well, I'm down with that. Attack you for 8. I'll play Timuret or the Butler. Do I have a reason to hate on their graveyard? I mean, I don't write this second, but it wouldn't surprise me if I wanted to later. And we still have an enchantment in our graveyard to get rid of. The only thing about the Butler is it would give us value when it died. But they're blue-green. They're not likely to have a sweeper. Get rid of the Eidolon. Turns out milling an Aphemia deck is not a great call. No surprise there, I guess. Okay, Sublime Epiphany. So we kind of need to kill them now, and I think... Well, probably can't quite kill them, which is a bummer. If I put the favor on something, how does that help us? So we can use it aggressively here. Kind of think I want to. I'm 1 mana shy of being able to send in the Hive, which would be enough, but we didn't get it. Okay, so I think we're going to put Mogus's favor on, I guess on Timuret, and swing out here. Alright. Then we attack. They have to block... Oh, I guess they don't. My math was slightly off there. We do get to kill Tatiova, though. So Sublime Epiphany is about to happen. But I'm not sure even it will do enough here to save them. There's too many zombies. We exiled so many cards in this game. Alright. That felt pretty good. Anytime you kill something with an enchantment and then get a 2/2 out of it, it just feels absurd. Those are the best starts this deck can have, more or less. Is their commander the Green Go Shintai? That's interesting. I don't see that a whole lot. Okay, I do think we keep this hand. You know, we don't have a black removal, you know, enchantment removal that is in it, but, you know, we have a bunch of good creatures and a Mox Amber, so we can kind of go off. I wonder what they're going to do here. They're probably like an enchantment slash +1/+1 counter deck, but it's interesting to see that Shrine as your commander. I don't want to play the Mox Amber yet. I mean, it's unlikely they only have a sorcery speed removal spell, but waiting until a later turn is probably just better. I'd probably play Timuret next turn anyway. So there's their Go Shintai. One of our removal spells would have been sweet, since basically all of them can kill it right this second. Probably about to change, though. But yeah, we'll play Timuret here. Hold on to our Mox Amber. May just sort of curve out here. If they kill Timuret, that means we get a zombie out of him. So it's just hard to break even against our enchantment creatures and things like that. Okay. So they're going to go wild with +1/+1 counters here, which we suspected. Oh yeah, they did that in the wrong order. That sucks. Ooh, Invoke Despair. So this is interesting. I could play Aphemia here and then the Amber just so we have mana for Invoke Despair next turn, which should let us get rid of both of these. I think it might be worth it. Just for the Amber. I mean, just for the mana, basically. Let's attack first with Timuret. I mean, they're not blocking, but if they do, we even get value out of Aphemia, so that play would feel even better. This play's not going to feel so good if they kill our Aphemia and we can't use our Amber. I guess I still don't need to play the Amber this turn. Just play Aphemia and then the Amber next turn and then Invoke Despair. If our opponent is still here. Yeah, they are. Yeah, so we'll play Takanuma here. Oop, no we don't. I already played my land. I thought I did, then I was confused. Alright, so let's play Aphemia. If she can stay alive, playing Mox Amber plus Invoke next turn is going to be pretty spicy. Especially if they play a Planeswalker. We just get rid of this, this, and their Planeswalker. Oh my god. We're going to live the Invoke Despair dream this turn. We are going to get hit pretty hard here. I mean, not that hard, really. Especially once we invoke them and get a 3-for-1 and then swing for 4. Seems pretty good. Might even get a Rage Quit, I guess. Let's find out. Nice. Board wipe. One-sided board wipe feels pretty good. Aphemia's not really doing her thing in this game, but kind of doesn't need to. If they play their commander again, we can hit it with Elspeth's Nightmare, which is pretty sweet. Or they'll scoop, yeah. They did give it one more turn after we invoked them. At least. Okay, Feather. Feather's a commander who dies to cheap removal spells like Mire's Grasp. And the creatures they play probably also die to Elspeth's Nightmare. We'd only have 2 lands in this hand, but I think that's okay. I mean, if they're the deck one expects... Actually, Feather doesn't die to Mire's Grasp, but the other creatures they play probably do. They didn't give us one to kill here, though. Yeah, why are you a 3-4? I was thinking it was a 3-3. Okay. We can kill that one, so there's that. I think that's what we do. I could have waited to play Elspeth's Nightmare, but things could go sideways. Does he actually hate on our graveyard? No. I mean, he does, but not in a way that we care about. Hates on lands in the graveyard. Needed to double check that, Hate Bear. So they're missing red. I don't hate that. I guess we just play Aphemia here. And make a 2-2. They may kill her before we get to our second main phase. Or, our instep, rather. Nope. We get a zombie. Nightmare Shepherd's pretty sweet. It is a little awkward with some of our graveyard stuff, but it is also a 4-mana 4-4 that does some silly things. You gonna get rid of our token or Aphemia? Aphemia, okay. Yeah. I'll move her to my command zone. Thank you. So, not really a point in playing Erebos. I think we probably play the Nightmare Shepherd. If nothing else, it pressures them in the sky. It's a creature big enough to tangle with Feather. Yeah. I could have played Aphemia instead, but because I couldn't get a 2-2 out of it right away, you know, anytime you can't get the 2-2, it is a little bit of a bummer to play her as fragile as she is. If you get the 2-2, almost anything your opponent does isn't too upsetting, but okay. Well, we're just getting the rage quits. That one's a little strange to me because it's not like we... I mean, I don't know. They may have had all cards they couldn't cast, but there was a lot of game left there. Ooh, this guy's cool. He's like the party haste guy. Zagrus, that's it. So our opponent's going to have lots of small creatures. Well, we probably would have liked a hand that had some early nonsense. We actually have 0 enchantments in this hand. But I think it's a good enough hand anyway. We do have, you know, Invoke, which is nice. We can actually just be sort of aggressive early. It's fine. I mean, far from our best hand, but it's acceptable. And then we draw Amogus' Favor, which improves things. I probably play the Scrounger on turn 2. I can kick the Shade later, so there's some flexibility. Yeah, I don't love that. There's our Ornithopter. Yeah, so this can flip when they damage things with a spell. So playing a creature can be kind of a downside. I think we play the Scrounger anyway. Hold on to our Amber. Next turn, I'd probably play Ornithopter, Aphemia. Or, I can't do both. Play Aphemia. Probably should have just played the Ornithopter this turn and tried to get Invoke Despair online as quickly as possible. Right. So we do get to kill that with Mogus's Favor. We like that, and that's what we do. We go Mogus's Favor, see you later. Attack you for 3. Play Aphemia. In the turn. We are going to exile our Favor this time, instead of just using it over and over again. So next turn we can Invoke. Let's see what they play here. Yeah. Okay. Invoke's not going to be quite as exciting here. I think we probably... I mean, it's still pretty good. It's still what we do. We don't have anything that good to do, frankly. So yeah. We go do this again. Is this back-to-back games where we did this? Last game it was completely absurd, though, or the game before. Last 2 people quit really quickly. So, you gotta sack one of your creatures, and then you take 4 and I draw 2. Pretty good deal. Pretty good deal overall. All right, we swing with our Scrounger. No enchantment to exile. We can Dreadhound next turn, which is pretty spicy. It has a decent chance of milling an enchantment for us. Here comes that guy. He gives Death Touch. Yeah. So we just take 6. I mean, I think we're in a race at this point, more or less. Life of Toshiro, huh? Don't think that helps us. I think we... I guess they still have mana up, so I may as well attack first. Although, if they have removal, well, they'll just use it in response. So, yeah. We attack. Then we play Dreadhound. We did not mill an enchantment. Bummer. But we do have a bunch of damage on the table. We also just powered this up, I guess. That part's not so good. Yeah, Nighthawk Scavenger's pretty good at giving our deck the middle finger for our shenanigans. Dark Ritual. Kind of feels like you don't do a whole lot for me here. Which is sad. It's sad when Dark Ritual doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, I probably use it and just, like, play out everything. So, we can make... I mean, yeah, we can even kick this if we do that. That's probably just what our plan is here. I could gain life with Life of Toshiro, but I think my Ornithopter is just going to have to block one of these. It is a bummer that this is just going to get bigger, though. Although I guess I already have a 1-mana thing because our Shadow Spear's in there. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, we do this. So let's Life of Toshiro. I'm going to use it to buff Aphemia. Although, buffing the 2/2 actually makes some sense. Yeah, let's do that. Then we're going to play this kicked. And we're going to play an Ornithopter. Can we outrace them? Kind of feels like the answer is no, but we'll try. I guess I can just take this almost. They chose not to. Am I dead? Did I screw this up? Because... yeah, I think I'm dead. This guy can't block. I don't know how I won't be dead. They should be able to get in for 7. Well, now they definitely should. However... no, not quite enough. They go down to 2. And, yeah, and we're dead. Alright. They got us. That lifelink, man. We needed removal for that scavenger, and we didn't get it. Good card for countering our deck, because we're just, like, throwing cards in our graveyard. I mean, I guess we exile them, too, but we just didn't do it in that situation. I think I was probably dead on the backswing no matter what, basically. Even if they hadn't Infernal grasped. Uh-oh. Hinata. That's some nonsense. Right? We have early removal. This does come with a scry, effectively, because that's the one we're going to choose. I think we keep it, but this could go sideways. 2-lander. Lots of people have to read Aphemia, which is always funny. Which, you know, I don't blame them. I like this card a lot in Limited for Theros Beyond Death, too, just because you could so easily make it a 2-mana, 2/2 zombie and a 2/1 flyer. Alright. I think we play the Lampad in case they decide to use removal on it. Then I can generate a zombie at least, but we do need to draw a land at some point in the near future. We have two of our most expensive cards. I mean, this wasn't the best keep ever, I guess. They don't have red right now. I'm sure they have it in their hand, though. Oof. Yeah, tokens, pretty good against us. We're a lot less interested in using removal on them. I may just play Aphemia here. Yeah, let's attack. And we'll play Aphemia. Not the start we're looking for, but at least if I draw a land, I can drop and Gift of Fangs. No, I can't. Because she taxes me. Okay. It's just not the matchup we're looking for. So they're going to get red here. So if I want to use one of these things, I should probably do it now. More mana is good. Because if I try to use these after she comes into play, everything I play is going to cost more. I could just try to go wide, play Gorging Vulture here and mill some stuff. I could also play Precipitous Drop to kill the Simulacrum. I don't love that. I think it probably is just play the Vulture as our plan here. We do hit an enchantment. This is where Dark Ritual would be a pretty good draw. Are we gonna get stomped by Hinata? Because I play Hinata here. Okay. No, they still can play her off of Midnight Clock. No, they're just sort of biding their time, it would seem. Which is probably good for us, because if they'd played Hinata earlier, we would have had, like, no way of ever removing Hinata because of the mana. Now, we can just do it with Murderous Rider, because we have 4 mana. Okay, so I think it's probably time to just kill the Simulacrum here, and then we swing out. We also get a Scry, which is pretty appealing to me right here. Yeah, so let's Precipitous Drop the Simulacrum. We want to Scry into more mana, basically, when we have Massacre Worm and Liliana Dreadhorde General in our hand. This will kill the Simulacrum, in theory, and it does. They, of course, get to draw a card, which sort of makes things a wash in terms of value. Now we're going to scry. Okay, I think we're happy drawing the land, given the situation. And I think we swing out. Then we make another 2/2, which is pretty good. And if things go really sideways, I can at least use the land pad to sacrifice stuff. I could play out the Shade, but it's so bad against those 1/1s that it doesn't really seem worth it to me. We have a lot of mana. They may just be planning on playing her and then playing some huge spell with multiple targets. I don't like them looking at all our cards like that. Okay. I just looked at every one of our cards, which might mean they have, like, Opus, which is like the, standard combo. Alright, they just have Confounding Conundrum. We can live with that. I just Murderous Rider Hinata on this turn. They may have, counter magic or whatever, but it's still what we do. Yeah. 3, 4, 5. It's unfortunate we have to pay all the mana, but I guess I can gift of Fangs one of the tokens if she does die here. Yeah. So, whoop, that would have been bad. Let's try to kill her. Good chance they counter it, I think. They wouldn't have cast her until she was protected. Probably. Probably, maybe. Okay, or they'll do that. Well, so we could kill one of these tokens and, for our turn, but I think just sacking the land pad to itself to do a 1 life drain and then let Aphemia die is probably just better. Alright, we do kill their commander. I like that part. Then we attack. They probably trade with one of the zombies. Yeah. Got him down to 8. We're 1 mana shy of both Massacre Worm and Liliana Dreadhorde General. It's a good place to be. If we play Aphemia, she can make a 2/2. Ooh. They're a little desperate, obviously, but that's still pretty spicy to draw that many cards. Yeah, they could play her right now. So if I get Liliana mana, man, who plays a hate bear like that? Come on. Look how much Liliana costs now. It's comical. Okay. I think we probably attack. Play the gift to kill Raydane. Then play Aphemia and make another 2/2. Seems pretty good. Sure, they kill our Gorging Vulture here, but that doesn't hurt our feelings too much. Drop on the 6. Oop. Play our gift. Do you counter that? Uh-oh. Okay, they basically do. Does still go to the graveyard on the bright side. Yeah, I think we play Aphemia and crank out another 2/2. Uh-oh. You gonna counter my commander? They may be turning this thing around. Okay. Okay. That's good news. We're more likely to return the land pad than we are the gift, so. The gift it is. They are getting close to this. Okay, no, they're not. They're halfway there. Oh, Hinata. It's gonna be bad. Making our Liliana cost so much is backbreaking, too. However, so yeah, we take 2. Okay. I guess we're just going to try to go wide here. We may as well try to disrupt them. First, see what we see with our Brain Maggot. Then I'd probably play Scrounger. It has the most power. Well, it has the most power and it's less flexible than the Shade, so... I mean, they are at low enough life that Massacre Worm can definitely help us find lethal at some point. But we probably need to get rid of Raydane to get there. Right. We've had enough Aphemia, I take it. Yeah, we'll move our commander to the command zone again. Yeah, we would have gotten another 2/2, so I guess that makes sense. We do get rid of a Spark Double. Don't hate that. We could also just use all of my available mana and play a Murderous Rider, but just having more power at this point definitely matters. Yeah. So I think we just play Scrounger. Hope they draw a blank here. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can just sink a ton of mana into this right now. We can't really draw a blank. Bleh. Right, we did draw our 6th land. I mean, if they don't have some way to interact here, Massacre Worm just ends it. So I think that's what we go for. They could, in response, get this to 12, but they won't have that much mana left, but they do have a good chance of interacting here. I think we want to play Massacre Worm up front, although... No, yeah, we do. Yeah. Playing it in the second main phase wouldn't accomplish that much. So let's try to Massacre Worm them here. Is it going to happen? Because if Massacre Worm comes down, weakens both of these, and we swing out, that means they die. Yeah, they got to crack their clock in response, I think. And then they get to draw 7 new cards, but they'll only have like 5 mana. Well, that's interesting. What's the one card in their hand, do you think? We swing out. What do you do? Oh, yeah, okay. That's bad, but they still don't have good blocks, at least. I guess they get back their Spark Double. But they have to lose Raydane, finally. Yeah, they do get back their Spark Double, but then they go to 2. But they're also about to crack their clock. So this whole thing is starting to look a little sketchy for us. Yeah. Enjoy all your cards. Darn it. They're like, I don't want a counterspell right now. That means they must not have drawn what they felt like they needed, right? Because I feel like holding on to a counterspell in this situation could be pretty effective. So we can finally play Liliana for 6, which is good. And I could just play her and hopefully use her -4 and just win. Well, now I can't win. Oh boy. Inspired Ultimatum. The pain. Mangara. Yeah, I think they probably turn this around. I mean, we're going to try our best to get there, but it's not going to be easy. Doomblade, huh? Doomblade Mangara swing for 4 might just be our best option here. I can still play out another creature. Yeah, I mean, Doomblade Hinata is pretty good, but Mungara is going to punish us pretty hard. So let's Doomblade Mungara and hope that works out for us. It also means we get in for damage immediately, which every bit of damage matters right now. Do we just get Scrounger back? Probably. Yeah. Get our Scrounger back here. Get rid of Vulture. You're not an enchantment. Nor are you something I'm that excited to bring back. Uh-oh. So they're going to put the ultimatum back on top. Great. I just want them to tap out and not get any effects, but I'm sure... Yeah, it's not good. Neither of those are good things. Oh, actually, can I just win with Liliana now? I can. I play Liliana. They don't have any mana. They have 1 mana. This Hive comes into play tapped, unfortunately. But I think Liliana's going to get us there here. Oh, no. No. Oh, they still have the Orrery, too. So they can probably counter her. Yeah, I forgot about the Orrery. So we can attack them down to 1 here, but then they're going to ultimatum again. Oh, God. I think we have to do it. I mean, I think we're losing this game, but I think we have to just do as much damage as we can. And hope we find a way to finish them off. Okay, well, they're not even going to let us do damage. Yeah, the Hinata deck has stabilized, and I don't think that gives us much hope here. Second ultimatum. Attack for 9. You go to 1. We had so many turns where it looked like we might manage to do lethal, but then they got us. Should I have killed Hinata with my removal spell? Probably. Although it's not like they couldn't recast it from the command zone, so... Nice. Alright, they got us. So, we won a bunch, but then we lost a bunch. So, but yeah, the deck's pretty sweet. I mean, obviously, any deck is going to have a hard time stabilizing against... I mean, finishing off a Hinata deck that stabilizes, so... I'm going to lose to that. So yeah, that's the deck. It's a pretty fun one. There is... I meant to say in the deck tech, and somebody's probably mentioned it in the comments, that there is one card in Capenna that would be awesome in this deck, and that's the Hideaway enchantment that mills you every turn. So... you know, a lot of people probably aren't even watching the video anymore, so probably should have mentioned it at the beginning. But yeah, the Hideaway Black Enchantment is pretty sweet. So that's the deck. It is pretty fun, and I hope you saw that. And I'll see you all probably next weekend with another Historic Brawl deck tech.